All right, we got Team Wars 22, week 22, that is. Welcome in, everybody. Nah, Kai, you got here just in time for the first time ever. Not ever, but in a while. Welcome in. Welcome in. This was a very interesting week. Bruh. I feel like I have like a hair in my teeth. You ever get that? Interesting week. Kind of a typical get the fight on your side kind of thing. Mackie, definitely not good to pull the Mackie like that. You definitely want the Mackie to get the boost on your new kid. Also, we want to try to kill the Mackie before... the Skuzzle dies. Skuzzle dies here. Nice job. These guys should boost through. Oh, look at this. All right, look at this timing. Look at this timing. Played it out. Boom! And it's right back, baby. Let's go. Let's go. There's like a fuzz. Oh, I got it. There literally was a piece of hair in my tooth. I got it. I got it out. All right, well done. Well done, boys. Sally was sneaky this week. That plus 74 with the Mackie, too. You could get crazy with it. Oh, nice. Look at that. The Mackie Smacky. Mackie Smacky. Easy breezy, beautiful call girl. Curlardra. Curlardra. Not bad. All right. Lead this week. Shield Maiden was a good lead, depending on what they put. You pretty much wanted them to lead a tank into you and then defend on that. Beautifully done. Very, very fast there. We take him out. Let's make sure we use the ability and get the damage. Well done. He's still going to attack. No, he retargets onto the Skuzzle butt. Should be fine here. I like this. Mackie. Good. I could have put Mackie in the front there. There's no reason why I shouldn't have done that. But wanted to make sure that AoE came out nice. Don't forget that Mackie does get that Frontier boost. But it's a nice combo to put those together. An interesting choice there to get the sizzle midline with the Pope. He did get the Skuzzle on the Pope. I mean, it's not the worst thing that's ever happened, but he played the rats into the boosted with Frontier Mackie, which just absolutely disintegrated him. And now Murph, potential threat to new kid all game. Murph was definitely trouble. And a one to go on. Yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. All right, we got Jopalak. We got a good old Polak. I don't have any water, dang. Dang, Jopalak. Jopo LAK. Yeah. All right, we're gonna lead our Skuzzle. Don't hate or love that play. That feels pretty good for what I had there. Stan the Great would probably be good at some point. No, this is good. Frontier Bradley up top. Okay, I like this. Now, who will kill the Cyborg is really the question here. It was the Stan the Great, which does impact our damage, and he is hitting the tower. So that was pretty bad, but that wasn't the worst thing, though. The poison comes out, that's trouble, but we just gotta make sure we get some value from the Skuzzle here. Maybe that Terrence and Phillip. Maybe the Frontier on it too. But look at that level 4 Pope actually getting hit up by the Skuzzle butt. He might get mind controlled here now, we gotta be careful. Oh, the Incan sniping it. We don't save the Phillip though, but the Terrence avenges his brother. Frontier doesn't get hit by New Kid. Terrence and Phillip still attack very quickly. Smack him up! Smack him up! Pimp smack him up! Oh, that was a terrible play. That was a terrible play. Drow should have been behind New Kid. Then maybe he'd have a chance. And one to grow on. Pow. It's a pretty brutal week. Pretty brutal week. Unknown Rover. Chef's Private. I feel like we've fought this guy like 3 times in the past couple weeks. Am I imagining that? All right, the Sally lead is pretty good. It can get some misplays going. I would say he misplayed that Drow there. There's really no reason to play him. Mackie here is not bad. Put the Frontier out with him. Get all that damage. We could poison right here, but I'd be worried that he'd Drow right at the same time. So we're gonna do something like this. Now we could use we could have used Murph right there and gotten onto the. There we go. That was the plan. Retarget that. The Sally goes down in one hit. Brutal. Will he get the bar though? He might still get it, but I have a ton of energy here, and there's really no way for him to stop it. Drop that. Good work. New kid should be down. Will the tower be down from that less damage? No, Stan doesn't get another hit off. We decide to go deep with it. Get the heals with, oh, the smack from the AoE. The AoE smack. The AoE smack takes down the tower quicker too, I believe. Nicely done. Nicely done. The Sizzle midline gets some good value, but that Mackie gets 3 hits with that plus 24. Incredible. That's gonna deal with the Sally and the Frontier, but unfortunately, those legends do not get taken down by the poison. Poison, you really gotta play at the right time. Pretty much this week, poison was for Kyle the Drow Elf, also BHK potentially, and it's not bad if you get on like Terrence and Phillip. And if you get on Terrence and Phillip and an assassin, or Terrence and Phillip and a range card, it's pretty good. Pretty good value. All right. If the opponent plays Skuzzle, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet to go with the Murph. You should be able to slow play from there and get in an advantageous position, but they could also build something that you have to decide not to push into. You know, they could get the Skuzzle on the tower, stuff like that, so then you're just slow playing, which I think is actually what happens here. Interesting choice here with the pigeons. We got to get New Kid to help out with those pigeons. Nicely done here. We decide to rotate. Okay, that's actually not a bad idea. It let them get in range, and we absolutely smacked him up there. New Kid taking the hits. I'm liking this, getting some damage on the Skuzzle butt, plus 102 from that Mackie boost. Now we just take out the Skuzzle, go ahead and get to New Kid, freeze him up a little bit. See, that is a little bit of trouble there, but with that Frontier, hopefully we'll actually boost in. Oh no, we don't get the boost now. I didn't get any fighter attacks. Let's see, can we get the, oh no! The tower started hitting the space, or the Shield Maiden instead of the New Kid. But can Medusa make it happen? Medusa! Nice. Nice. Just too much value there. Too much value. Also good if you get Mackie on the tower with that boost, that plus 75, plus the ×3 speed boost. That can absolutely melt the Skuzzle butt. Melt that butt. All right. Sally lead here if they play a tank opposite side. That's interesting. You could just play the poison, honestly. I played the poison mostly because I didn't have another better card. If I would have had like Shield Maiden, I might have just played Shield Maiden. I'm dying. All right, this is pretty good. Not a great Pope, but not a bad Pope necessarily. Pretty good setup because it gets 2 cards for the Skuzzle butt, so like that's not the worst thing that's ever happened. What's up, Matt? What up, Matt? Can we kill the Pope before the Skuzzle? No. Still gets the boost, but doesn't really matter. I don't even think he got an extra hit off. This is good. Get the stun. Not attacking. You wait for the Stan until he plays 1 more unit. And it is the Skuzzle, or the Sizzler. So now Sizzler is doing nothing. What's up, Matt? What's up, DJ? Now that Terrence from behind, too, that was just absolutely brutal there. Can the Frontier survive? Yes, the AoE killed the backline, too. Frontier lives with the Sharon. Frontier might die, but we should be fine here. Sharon tanking it up, and the level 3 Sizzler coming home, baby. Level 3 Sizz. Now we got David's. Cupid Stunts. Gotta love that team name. One of the top team names in the game for sure. S. David. W. David. W. David. W. David in chat. Rest in peace, David. All right, this is not great. Like, if we want him to use it, okay, so that was it. You can tell how good a player is by whether or not they play the Murph there. If he wouldn't have played the Murph, I would have assumed he's a better player. Now we're just gonna chill here because it's kind of hard to get our thing off. I could have played Mackie right there, but I figured the stand's gonna stop him from being able to do much damage, so I can just let New Kid take it out, and look at that, works out perfectly, saves me the 4 energy that I probably would have had to have played on Mackie to get New Kid to deal with the Cyborg in time. Well played. And the Terrence and Phillip get completely deleted, and the Sally double shots them both. That was absolutely hilarious. Sally getting value you haven't seen since 2017. Oh, we missed on the stand on the rats, though. That was a bit of a mistake there. I could have definitely gotten it. Can we take care? All right. The tower, is the tower gonna hit him? No, the tower doesn't quite hit, but we're getting the heal up here. Play the Sally. Nah, just wait on it. Just wait on it. I think we can take this without any help. That Medusa with plus 74, brutally effective. Nicely done. The heal coming through on the Sharon. Sharon! Oh, and we healed the Medusa, so Medusa didn't die either. Brutal. Brutal. All right, what's next? What's next? We got X Phantom on Douche Diaz. What was the name? What was the team name? 8,000. We got trouble. We got trouble. I was playing chopsticks right there. I like the Skuzzle on the Murph. Slow play it into my side. Now, this is kind of funny because it's the opposite of the other one, but I expected him to do that. And now you know that that guy's not very good because he used the Murph. If he would have not used the Murph, maybe he's good. But now we completely shut him down with a strategic little Shield Maiden and no damage for him. Probably put my Cyborg Tower out there. No real reason not to. Wow, the double tower. What is happening here? Unfortunately, the Skuzzle butt didn't get out in time, and my tower is hitting his tower. But his arrow double tower, what the hell? His arrow tower is gonna get the value. Can we get some good AoE off that Skuzzle? Uh-oh. Oh, the Skuzzle wasted mind control. Skuzzle is in no threat to die here. Does it take out the Shield Maiden eventually, though? Can we heal the tower? Sharon with the AoE. Nicely done. Still alive. Trouble. Big trouble here. Big trouble. Can Sharon get a heal to save the Frontier? Oh, Frontier lives. And the tower, basically full health going into the afterlife here. Crazy. Crazy well played match there. Good value. Easy to play against those levels, all right? Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia. That's pretty cool. Czechoslovakia. Mike, check. All right, Shield Main's a good lead. Otherwise, Sally on the bottom side from the tank kind of forces him to not just sit on the Skuzzle energy. He's got to play something else, which is going to be... There's no card that he could play right there that wouldn't end up being out of place other than like his own Sally there. That would have been okay. But I don't think a lot of teams went Sally. I don't think I saw Sally from anybody else. This AoE comes out. Poison here is not bad, but if we could get the Cyborg at the right time... We're kind of slow playing here because I don't really want to kill the Skuzzle. Because if I do this just right, we can get the Cyborg out there. But if I also do it right, I can make it so that the tower doesn't hit anybody, which is very good here. And now we let him hit there, and we're going to clean up the Pope. We're also going to take down the tower. Czechoslovakia! Easy breezy. Thank you so much for the tower, my friend. Thank you so much for the tower. The Murph not getting through. We're gonna use the stand here to prevent the sizzler damage. Even though he's getting stacked and he's shielded, the damage was way lower because of that shield or the stand. The Stanny boy. Can we take out? Yes, the Drow's down, which is the big threat. Murph, no longer damaging the stand. New kid not doing enough. Well played. Well played. Well played. Why is this stream so poor? Oh, the bucket thing. I just, mostly because I didn't want people to be able to like use all their stuff and go to 0 or double. I didn't want that to be.
The mighty shall prevail.
Glanzer is poor. Shut up. That's why we're doing Warpath later, because they're paying me. We're gonna make about 50 bucks doing that. Shut up. Shut up. We're not poor. We won't be poor after that. All right, the poison was actually pretty dang good on that level 4. Huge amount of damage, but look at that. Did you guys see why I laughed there? The classic PC Principal mistake. The PC Principal pushing back even the Murph. Him pushing back Murph so much is actually crazy. But watch this. Watch what happens as that Murph gets pushed away. That tower, all of a sudden, right when he triggers that ×3, all of a sudden, he's no longer attacking the Murph, and the Murph saves probably about 1,000 HP right there. Very well done. Now we're just in reset mode. We can probably put our tower up at this point. Otherwise, Bradley wouldn't be terrible to get out there. We want to cycle back to the poison now. This is good. Nicely done. I like this. We get the poison out there. We actually might not need the poison. What up, Curbs? Curb stomp. We don't need the poison because Murph's gonna turn. Wait, is that our Murph or his? That's gotta be his Murph. Oh, we get the little snake that could. The little snake that takes 2 hits from everybody. Brutal there. The poison comes out on me though. I mean, it's a decent poison, but not when I have so much coming at you. That's what she said. The sneaky Sally on the bottom side. Shield Maiden protecting herself. Oh, the snakes. The snake army. The snake army. The snake army. Ah, the snake army lives. Look at them. Look at the way the snakes look at you and they survive at the end. So funny. ZZX, SPPD, Viva La Smoke. Should be a decent matchup, at least decent levels. At least decent levels. Wow, double wow in chat. Wow, W in chat. W chat. I can't stand those streamers, dude. That Gen Z shit. All right, we got Mackie. In case he swarms us. I don't think he's gonna though. See, this guy knows how to play. This guy knows how to play, see? This is when we're like, oh, we're gonna lose. You scuzzed your level 7 rats and took 2 bars. That's hilarious. The poison comes out. Kind of baited the drow here a little bit, honestly. The poison comes out. Prevents the drow from getting value. Or prevents me from getting value there. So he's like, oh, this idiot wasted his poison. I'm gonna win now. Not when you're Murph's level 5, you scrub ass. Now, thinking back, should I have done that and kept the Skuzzle alive? Or should I have waited longer? I think this is good though. The Mackie damage is gonna be great here. The Space Warrior, or not the Space Warrior, the Stand the Great, still living though. Not getting killed by that Incan, finally down by the Incan, and now we get a nice triple shot. Oh, but the snake takes it instead of the Frontier. The snake takes 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits. The snake absolutely devastating the competition. Nicely done, nicely done, nicely done. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, boo, boo. The way to support you to game after you use my PC. Yeah, if you install it, I make some money. If you play it and get to a few different levels, like level 5 and stuff, I get some money. If you buy a $1 pack, I get some money. If you buy like a $10 pack, I get some money. There's a couple things it says you can make money on. It's open for another like 4 days, so there's some time. I plan on playing it tomorrow too, so. It's honestly kind of fun. It's honestly kind of fun. It's got all these different things. It feels like it's one of those games where like they built like a fake ad into the game after the fact to like get people with that fake ad game, and now that's just part of the thing. Just like Raid Shadow Legends. I mean, I don't think it's like that game, but it's got a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of fun. Especially the sniper part. Pew, 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 where you're sniping it up. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, we probably won't keep playing it after this, but I mean, if we can make 50 bucks off it, why not check it out, you know? All right, this is pretty good setup because we do have the potential for that Medusa to take out the Skuzzle butt. Mackie on them could, it kind of depends on what he does. Yeah, there was a lot to it, honestly. And the way it was set up, having friends play it with you, I feel like could be kind of fun. Because there's like that RTS level to it. We got 3 nice sets up here. New kid not hitting anybody here, though. So unfortunately, the Mackie, the poison on the Sharon, like what is that? But I guess if you snipe the Sharon, it doesn't matter, does it? We get the boost. We get the triple on the front line. Stand the Great doesn't get it, but that should be fine. Frontier on this one, I think. Frontier up top corner. That's fine too. That's fine too. I get that. Separate it from the tower in case the tower survives. I like that. I like that. But once that negative 146 comes out, we get the shield out. Beautiful, beautiful management of that cyborg tower there. Absolutely no value from them. And the snakes! There's double snakes again! The stand might actually take this bar. Oh, nice. He gets it. But look at this value. The stand surviving even longer. The Shield Maiden now surviving through the plus 75. Absolutely incredible. New kid not hitting any of these guys, so they're all surviving. We get the tower out there just to help survive it. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Basically just... Oh, I tried to get that. The tower comes out. That's fine. No big deal. I tried to get the Mackie to keep the Medusa from getting shot backwards. Oh, we could have Sharoned the Sally there and protected her. Rip. 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 Oh, we got Herod 7, a decent player. What do we got, Herod? What do you got for me, Herod? Isn't Herod the guy who wanted to kill Jesus? Isn't Herod the big bad of the Bible? Or was it Herod, like Herrod? Alexa, who's the king guy that tried to kill Jesus? She can't figure it out. Wasn't that Herod? King Herod? We got any theology scholars around here? Oh, look at this. Absolutely brutal. Level 4 stays alive way longer with that boost because level 4, it loses a percentage of its max health every second, right? But that amount is set from the beginning and it doesn't get impacted by increased health, right? So if you're level 5, let's say it's 1,000 HP, so you're gonna go down 10 HP every second or whatever, or 100 HP or whatever it'd be, 50, whatever. Then the next one, or the level 4 only has 800 HP, so it's only gonna go up by, you know, 20% of that, right? So it'd be 40 instead of 50 or whatever. So if you increase that amount, that health amount, when it's at a lower level, that tower technically stays alive long. As you can tell by this tower still being alive, that tower will stay alive longer. Look at this. Look at the Stan the Great making the sizzle, not able to kill this snake. Look at this. 4, 5. I took 4 shots there. 4 shots got blocked there. We don't get in this. The tower is still alive. So the tower is ticking away way slower than if it was level 5 or 6. Does it have less HP total? And look at that. It didn't even kill the cyborg because it's level 4. The counter The counter to the level 2 cyborg is the level 4 cyborg tower. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And finally, the tower dies, but we don't get the heal on the Shield Maiden, which is troublesome. But can the... Oh, it is the Medusa taking the hits. Nicely done. Nicely done. Well played. Well played. Fun match. There's a lot of... This week, there's a lot of like rock, paper, scissors choices where it's like, this card definitely counters that card, you know? Stan the Great absolutely murders Team Wars if you play him right, man. The amount of value you can get when they can't get any DPS for a little bit, especially if he gets one ability off, already valuable. He got what, 2 or 3 abilities off those matches? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy work. The fact that you can basically make Sizzle worthless for 4 hits while speed boosted by making him do no damage. I mean, that was because he was level 3. I think if he was level 4, he would have had a tiny little bit of HP left, in which case he would have been able to... We gotta get this shield up, in which case he would have been able to kill the snake in 1 or 2 shots probably, but... Look at this though, the Shield Maiden not taking hits there because they were all hitting the Mackie. Nicely done here. We take another one. We play our cyborg out to get his cyborg and steal his. Oh, it worked exactly as we expected it to. And we take a rat as well. That could not have gone better. The cyborg counterplay versus the cyborg, absolutely incredible there. The Sally still taking the hit. The slow play on his side failing. And we're in good shape. The Medusa, a solid thing to counter the tower. If he plays like the Drow, we would poison here. All right, I don't like this. We can, or I don't hate this. We can bring the Murph into the tower if we need to, or attack New Kid if Medusa takes the tower out. But he does go down. Right about the time he's gonna start attacking, you wanna probably hit him up with it to get that stun out there. Now he's not gonna do as much damage. We got this. We know he can't cyborg yet because his cyborg is gonna match our cyborg with spawn, and our cyborg's at least 1 away, and he wouldn't have had the energy anyway. There we go. I like this. I like the swap there because the Terrence and Phillip took the damage. I like that actually. Get this swap up there. The poison comes out. The shield perfectly in unison here. Can we keep her alive? No, we can't. The New Kid does the job, but the tower in a perfect place to deal with the competition. And the Sally slithers through the middle because her aggro range is absolutely 0. Or is 1, I guess, technically. Loser Derankers. This is somebody we run into. Not a Team Wars threat, really, because his team probably just does not have enough to get his levels high enough. But we definitely see this guy out in the wild every once in a while. What will he do? What will he do? We don't have a great lead. I would say actually this is one of the worst leads we've had, but he midlines the Skuzzle, which basically gives us the win. Like, I'd have to really misplay to not win by now. So here, since Murph is getting hit there, I probably should have retargeted there, but what I really want to do is switch to the Shield Maiden and take the Shield Maiden out before I kill the Skuzzle, which looks like it's gonna work here. She's not gonna be able to get her shield out because of the block. No, she does get it out just in time. Will I kill her before the Skuzzle? Yes, I do. But now he's got a tower, but the Mackie's gonna be there. I like this. He tries to steal it, but it doesn't work. Well done. Well done. He did his best. We do a little bit of damage, but now we know that there's no threat, but he's gonna take out our Terrence and Phillip. So pretty well played on his part. Protecting that. Oops, he says. Oops. What, you think you're ahead here, brother? What, you think you're ahead here, brother? You got nothing to threaten me anymore. I got Medusa level 3. I'm gonna take your bitch ass out. Let's go. Probably the Sally. Yeah, I don't hate that. I had to make sure the cyborg was definitely dead because I didn't want him to get hit once. Sally. Oh no! Oh no, what happened? He emoted and his game crashed. Oh no! What happened, dude? You stressed out your phone, bro. Your Straight Talk phone got impacted by your emotes. Rip. That's definitely happened to me before, where emoting feels like it caused the crash. Why? Like, the only thing I can think is it crashed. It wouldn't have made sense there for him to stop playing because we were in a stalemate. Like, neither of us was in a better position than the other, really. So I don't know why. My assumption is he was hacked. No, my assumption is he must have been disconnected. That's the only thing that makes sense, right? But I would say Stan the Great is great. We've talked about this before. Is Stan the Great the best common in the game? For Team Wars, he's got to be top 3. I would say top 3 commons. Well, you know what? Scout Ike is up there too. For Team Wars at least. Scout Ike is up there. Friar Jimmy is up there in Team Wars. His value in Team Wars can be crazy good. But Stan the Great's value, I mean, you can get rid of boosts, so stuff like Mackie gets impacted a little bit. BHK was an option that week, so this week. So, wait, was it an option? I can't remember. So I just don't think anyone picked him because of poison. But it stops any boosts like that, ninja boost, stuff like that. Which is good enough as is, but then I think one of the things is that since the enemy potentially might not have great levels, the Stan, typically when you use the Stan, a lot of the times it'll take like 80% of the attack. Like there'll still be a little bit of attack. So like if it's attacking Swarm, it'll kill the Swarm in a couple of hits. But if they're one level lower, Stan will wipe their attack out completely, which lets you play the game in a completely different way. Like I didn't have to worry about that Cyborg that was on my new kid because Cyborg was only level 3, which you're not gonna level it either way, but if Cyborg was level 5, I couldn't have done that because even if I used Stan on the Cyborg to get rid of 160 HP or 140 attack, whatever it is, that Cyborg still has like 100 attack after that, right? But if he's level 3, he doesn't have any attack. Or he only has 20 or 30 or something like that. But cows are the best common. Yeah, that's... I don't know if I agree with you. I feel like, if we're talking strictly Team Wars, I feel like the cows isn't as good as it is in ladder, because in ladder, part of the reason why cows works is because it will potentially surprise you. You won't be ready for it, or potentially you won't have the card in your deck to deal with it. But in Team Wars, we're going to build the deck on weeks we know cows will be picked. We're going to make sure there's cards in there that can deal with the cows. So whether it's Labard or Sizzler or Satan or Fireball or counter building with Stan the Great or whatever it is, there's gonna be ways to deal with the cows. So you're not really worried about the cows as much, you know? But you always play ready for cows in PvP. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I would say it's a little bit kind of like Satan and Cock Magic. Like they're not as good in Team Wars because if you know that those cards are coming, they're just not as good. The main value of those cards is the fact that you don't know it's coming. Kind of like Mind Control. Like if you hold the Mind Control, they don't know Mind Control, you could really mess them up because they don't think it's coming. But if you play Mind Control in the first second of the match, they're probably not gonna play into the Mind Control value within that match again, right? Kind of like with the Team Wars. If you don't play the card that Cock Magic or Satan is connected to, so then they don't know, oh, hey, he doesn't have Satan. They have to play as if they have that card, right? So if you haven't played Transmog or whatever it is instead of Cock Magic, they have to play as if you have Cock Magic. If you haven't played Future Randy yet, they have to play as if you have the Satan, right? So there's kind of that strategy of it, but that's one of those strategies where like the other person has to be thinking at a high level for that strategy at your level to matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about playing poker with someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and you're trying to figure out what hand he could possibly have by the way he's betting and by the way he's acting, when in reality he's got 2-7 offsuit and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Like, there's no way I'm gonna guess that he just hit runner sevens on the turn and the river, because there's no reason that he would still be in that hand with a 2-7. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to it that are pointless if the other guy isn't thinking at that level, right? Like, me holding off on poison to kill the drow is pointless if the guy never plays the drow. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah, Friar up there. Scout Ike, I think, is up there. Stan the Great is up there as far as commons go. And then cows, I suppose you got to put cows up there just because of the... I would say poison, though, in Team Wars. Poison is always really good. On the weeks where we choose poison, there's always a really good poison target. And usually you can get really good value. Like this week, you're hitting drow and the tower. That's crazy good. I'm trying to think what other commons there are. I think, or Angel Wendy. Angel Wendy's probably the 4th common. If you get the value that you can get from an Angel Wendy in Team Wars is pretty damn high. Pretty damn high. Her range is crazy. She hits 3 people. She can heal people after they get hit by New Kid, which is crazy good because most people survive New Kid at that level. Angel's definitely up there. And then I don't think there's any other. Then you start getting into the rare cards that are a lot better. They're still good, but a lot better. Like Monkey is really good in Team Wars, stuff like that. Poseidon. Yeah, Poseidon's not, Poseidon is definitely better in Team Wars than in ladder. I wouldn't say he's top, because I would say even rats are better than him in Team Wars. But most of the time, when rats is the selection, there's something on the other side that makes the rats not very good. So a lot of the times the rats aren't very good, but some weeks you can use the rats to kill the slave or something like that on your side. It's very, very good value. Yeah, I would say rats are higher than Poseidon, but Poseidon's definitely much better in Team Wars than the ladder, because even just slowing New Kid down can make a couple of rats absolutely delete the New Kid. It's pretty sweet. Trying to think a couple more. I'm trying to think of a couple more to throw into the ring before we end it. I mean, I suppose stuff like you saw there, stuff like Sally, Paladin, Princess, Smuggler Ike, all of those 2-cost assassins are pretty good because of the way you can play around your opponent when they're misplaying the cards. Like if they lead with the Sizzle, I play that 2 energy. I am in such a good position because they have to play a card and they're probably going to get out of position after that. On some weeks, you can make the rats kill the slave. You just then you feed them to the pigs after that. No, it's cool to see other cards being able to thrive in Team Wars than ladder. It's kind of like Challenge. Challenge gets a couple of cards that don't usually get played, but they can get played. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. We're gonna keep going with some quick packs and some Warpath. If you see down there in the corner. If you're watching this on Tuesday, you could still support the stream by checking out that link. I'll put it in the chat. Otherwise, if you're watching it past like Wednesday, I think my campaign's over. I got it for 10 days. So next week is Mr. Mackey versus Stan the Great. I got to pick Stan every time. I don't even have to look at the rest of the cards. Stan's probably the choice. Mr. Mackey, 1 extra cost. Mr. Mackey, potentially very good on defense with New Kid smacking, but eventually he's just going to probably walk into death. And I think the only reason this week that Mackey really was the choice was that Frontier was also an option, and Frontier makes him a much more playable unit, in my opinion. But yeah, like also really good this week was Mackey on New Kid with the Skuzzle butt, or with Murph too. But that plus 74 value on the New Kid that entire time is very, very good. So I would say, like, unless there's a Scuzzlebutt or like a big tank, there'd be nothing to even argue for the Mackey. If there's a big tank, you could maybe argue that the Mackey would be good on defense, but unlikely. All right, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.